The World War II Memorial is a memorial of national significance dedicated to Americans who served in the armed forces and as civilians during World War II. Consisting of 56 pillars and a pair of small triumphal arches surrounding a square and fountain, it sits on the National Mall in Washington, D.C., on the former site of the Rainbow Pool at the eastern end of the Reflecting Pool, between the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. Opened on April 29, 2004, it was dedicated by President George W. Bush on May 29, 2004. The memorial is administered by the National Park Service under its National Mall and Memorial Parks Group. More than 4.6 million people visited the memorial in 2018. The memorial consists of 56 granite pillars, each 17 feet tall, arranged in a semicircle around the plaza with two 43-foot triumphal arches on opposite sides. Two-thirds of the 7.4-acre site is landscaping and water. Each pillar is inscribed with the name of one of the 48 U.S. states of 1945, as well as the District of Columbia, the Alaska Territory and Territory of Hawaii, the Commonwealth of the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Guam, American Samoa, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. The northern arch is inscribed with Atlantic, the southern one Pacific. The plaza is 337 feet 10 inches long and 240 feet 2 inches wide, is sunk 6 feet below grade, and contains a pool that is 246 feet 9 inches by 147 feet 8 inches. The memorial includes two inconspicuously located Kilroy was here engravings. Their inclusion in the memorial acknowledges the significance of the symbol to American soldiers during World War II and how it represented their presence and protection wherever it was inscribed. On approaching the semicircle from the east, a visitor walks along one of two walls, right side wall and left side wall, picturing scenes of the war experience in bas relief. As one approaches on the left toward the Pacific Arch, the scenes begin with soon-to-be servicemen getting physical exams, taking the oath, and being issued military gear. The reliefs progress through several iconic scenes including combat and burying the dead, ending in a homecoming scene. On the right side wall toward the Atlantic Arch, there is a similar progression, but with scenes generally more typical of the European theater. Some scenes take place in England, depicting the preparations for air and sea assaults. The last scene is of a handshake between the American and Russian armies when the Western and Eastern fronts met in Germany. The Freedom Wall is on the west side of the plaza, with a view of the Reflecting Pool and Lincoln Memorial behind it. The wall has 4,048 gold stars, each representing 100 Americans who died in the war. In front of the wall lies the message, "Here we mark the price of freedom." A nationwide design competition drew 400 submissions from architects from around the country. Frederick St. Florian's initial design was selected in 1997. St. Florian's design evokes a classical monument. Under each of the two memorial arches, the Pacific and Atlantic baldacchino, 4 eagles carry an oak laurel wreath. Each of the 56 pillars bear wreaths of oak, symbolizing military and industrial strength, and of wheat, symbolizing agricultural production. Over the next 4 years, St. Florian's design was altered during the review and approval process required of proposed memorials in Washington, D.C. Ambassador Hayden Williams guided the design development for ABMC. Ground was broken in September 2001. The construction was managed by the General Services Administration. The triumphal arches were crafted by Rock of Ages Corporation. Sculptor Raymond Kasky created the bronze eagles and turrets that were installed under the arches. as well as 24 bronze bas relief panels that depict wartime scenes of combat and the home front. The bronzes were cast over the course of 2.5 years at Lauren Bronze in Chester, Pennsylvania. The stainless steel armature that holds up the eagles and wreaths was designed at Lauren, in part by sculptor James Peniston, and fabricated by Apex Piping of Newport, Delaware. The twin bronze wreaths decorating the 56 granite pillars around the perimeter of the memorial, as well as the 4,048 gold-plated silver stars representing American military deaths in the war, were cast at Valley Bronze in Joseph, Oregon. The John Stevens shop designed the lettering for the memorial, and most of the inscriptions were hand-carved in situ. In 2012, the memorial's fountain was renovated. Oh, look at TikTok. I think he's doing TikTok. World War II Memorial. George W. Bush. Women who stepped up were measured as citizens of the nation, not as women. This was a people's war, and everyone was in it. Virgin Island. Oh, Philippines. I'm gonna take a picture on the Philippines. Philippines. It's hot. Oh my god. The wars end. Today, the guns are silent. A great tragedy has ended. A great victory has been won. The skies no longer rain death. The seas bear only commerce. Men everywhere walk upright in the sunlight. The entire world is quietly at peace. Japan, Okinawa. They have Manila, Luzon, Leyte Gulf, Dalelu, I think, Philippine Sea. Battle of Midway. They had no right to win, yet they did. And in doing so, they changed the course of a war. Even against the greatest of odds, there is something in the human spirit, a magic blend of skill, faith, and valor, that can lift men from certain defeat to incredible victory. Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people, in their righteous might, will win through to absolute victory. From President Franklin D. Roosevelt.
So I don't have to hear you complain about being dark.
Pacific.
As far as the mall major memorials go, I think this is the neatest. But if you look around, you can't even tell where that
Pacific. World War II Memorial.
Want to get a picture next to Ohio?
Yeah.